To be back again with Ashley Beaton, the dealer principal at North Coast V Twins. Ashley, I think last time we talked, we were looking at a lovely RC8C down at the Motorsport Complex, Motorsport Festival at Coffs Harbour. But tonight's a really special night. In fact, while it's 2023, we can go back to 1901 because I see you now have this lovely range at Royal Enfields, and as we know, they hold claim to being the world's longest continuous manufactured motorbike. The manufacturers started back in the 1800s, actually, in Redditch in England with a quad bike, and then they moved into these bikes. And the Enfield comes from the guns that they made, and Royal in that they were the suppliers for guns to the British Army. But after the British had sort of finished with the Royal Enfields, we went across to India, and the Indian government in 1955 started to buy large numbers, hence the manufacturing there. Now, my real question to you first up, Ashley, is it's North Coast V Twins. Now, we know about the beautiful Harley-Davidson range and the V-twin motors there, and we know that in KTM, but do you know something about Royal Enfield that I don't know, that North Coast V-twins have got Royal Enfields?
I certainly do, Chris.
You do? So there's a V-twin coming, is there?
No, there was a V-twin in the very early stages.
Correct.
In the very early 1900s, one of their first motorbikes was a V-twin. So they started as we did, with V-twins.
Yeah, that's right. I was hoping you remembered that. And of course, we know their slogan is built like a gun. And that was where the Enfield, it's a little bit similar to BSA. They all started out in armoury, things like that. But perhaps I think probably down the track, would I be fair in assuming that electrification at Harley-Davidson's hasn't been exactly a resounding success, the live wire and that, but Royal Enfield, as we know, in 2026 are going to release their electrification or their electric model Royal Enfield. So that'll give you something else to sell. And by waiting to 2026, they'll probably refine batteries and things like that. But what really drew you as dealer principal to take on this agency?
One of the big turning points was when Royal Enfield decided to take over the Harris Brothers plant in Britain, and I always admired the workmanship of the Harris boys, and they've kept that plant and kept much of their equipment staff and the Harris Brothers themselves employed, and they entrusted the Harris Brothers to do a lot of R&D on all these new models that are coming out now. So, and we've seen a significant improvement in the quality and the design factors and the equipment used on these motorcycles.
Yeah. In fact, tonight, earlier in the discussions there, I can't remember, it was a staff member or someone said they had a 1948 one that's still running perfectly. So that's pretty good reputation. But being a motorcyclist myself, we don't hear of problems. I had the opportunity to take the first fuel-injected Royal Enfields to the top of the Himalayas on the world's highest motorball road. It went beautifully. No one complained about the bikes. So I guess this also fills perhaps a void in your dealership here, in that you've got with the 350 Meteor and things like that. It gives you a range of learner-approved motorbikes that people here in Coffs Harbour will be able to ride. Would that be a correct assumption?
Oh, absolutely. It does fill that void, as you said, Chris. But it's mostly what the whole range are actually. They're all LAMS approved. So not only they are a great commuter bike, but they're also an awesome LAMS bike.
Right, and just to finish off, Ashley, you've had a lot of interest here tonight. Been April, the launch night here at your main dealership. Is that equating into sales, you think, over the next 3 or 4 months?
Oh, absolutely, yes. We've seen a fantastic uptake of people interested in these machines. So with their support from us and the 3-year warranty that Urban Moto and Royal Enfield offer for all our Australian customers, I don't think there's too much that anybody can argue about.
No, and you've got a good reputation both as a dealership here, and Royal Enfield's got a good name in Australia, so all the best, and we look forward to perhaps doing a test ride and a video clip sometime later on. Like I said, I've done a lot of work with Himalayan, and I've got some friends that have the Interceptor here. They're both very, very enthusiastic about them, and now that there's local backup for them, I'm sure that before long it will be a major part at your dealership. So thank you very much, Ashley, and we look forward to catching up with you again later.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you